Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning everyone. Welcome to CREAM webinar series 2023. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday morning with us. So my name is Intan Diana and I'll be the MC and your moderator for today's webinar. So before I begin, please kindly scan the QR code on your screen to confirm your attendance because if you haven't, then we won't be able to send you your certificates. So please kindly scan your QR code, and later on, if you miss this slide, I also pin the link to confirm your attendance in the chat box. So please don't forget to do that, yeah? All right, so CREAM Webinar Series 2023 is a program organized by Construction Research Institute of Malaysia, or CREAM, and it is a part of our efforts to initiate conversations on issues, challenges, opportunities, and initiatives for the construction industry and beyond. So this webinar series is a monthly program, and every month we will have different themes. So this month, we will cover on deliver better quality and safer construction through QLASSIC and QLASSIC. And today we will focus on QLASSIC, or Quality Assessment System in Construction. For today's webinar, we will cover the journey and the policy of QLASSIC, as well as the application and assessment process. We also have an experienced QLASSIC assessor today to share with you his experience and what he usually finds during assessments. All right, so before we get started, just a little housekeeping. If you have any questions for our speakers, please drop your questions into the chat box, and I will bring them up during the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. All right, so now without further ado, I would like to invite our first speaker, Encik Muhammad Faiz Musa from CIDB Malaysia. Technologist Muhammad Faiz Musa, sorry. So technologist Muhammad Faiz graduated from University Technology Mara, UiTM Shah Alam in 2010, and then completed his master degrees in 2012 also from UiTM. In May 2014, he has been accredited by Construction Industry Development Board, or CIDB, as a certified QLASSIC assessor. Since the appointment, he has been actively involved in QLASSIC assessment for CIDB. In September 2017, he joined CIDB as a manager in charge of development section, consists of training for contractor and construction personnel, CIDB's technology program, and construction material units for CIDB Negeri Selangor. In March 2019, he has been accredited as a professional technologist in building and construction field by Malaysian Board of Technologies, or MBOT. In January 2021, he has been certified as Construction Manager Level 5 by CIDB. He is also actively involved in CIDB's Site Supervisor Accreditation Program as Assessment Panel for Building and Architecture, or BNA, since 2020. So please welcome Encik Faiz. Encik Faiz. Wait, Hello, Encik Faiz, are you there?
Mic yang voice.
Okay.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Technology Center, sorry for the technical difficulties. So Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Start terus. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning. First of all, I would like to thank you, our MC for today, Technologist Intan Diana. Thank you for CREAM. Thank you to CREAM also for inviting me to share a bit about the current updates on QLASSIC lah. Okay, so without further ado, I think I will share my slide. Is it possible? Just share my slide. This one is window. No, this one.
Okay, yes, we can see the slide.
Everyone can see my slide lah?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, so I was informed by Cream and Miss Technology Center. The topic for this month Cream webinar series will be focusing on quality and safety. So I will be explaining or sharing about QLASSIC, the latest updates on QLASSIC, basically on the policy, and then the way forward. My title today for the webinar is the way forward for QLASSIC, CIS 7. Okay. Okay, this is my presentation outline for today. So basically, the introduction about QLASSIC. For those who first time hearing about QLASSIC, maybe can comment in the chat box among the participants lah. From there, who's the first time hearing about Klassic lah. So maybe for those who first time, maybe can comment me lah, so that I can at least know is there any doesn't know about Klassic lah. And then government policies related to Klassic, statistic of Klassic to date lah. And then adoption of Klassic in projects, and then Klassic training, and then how you would like to become a CIDB Klassic successor, and then the way forward for Klassic. Okay. First of all, okay, what is QLASSIC lah? Basically, QLASSIC is an acronym lah. So QL is from quality, and then ES is assessment, and then another S is system, and then I stand for in, and then C is construction lah. So that's the meaning of QLASSIC is QLASSIC Quality Assessment System in Construction. So basically, CIDB we have a few QLASSIC lah. Besides QLASSIC CIS 7, we do have QLASSIC CIS 19. QLASSIC CIS 7 is mainly focused on building construction work, whereby CIS 19 is focus on completed road work lah. So basically, QLASSIC is a quality assessment system in construction, whereby it's a system or method to measure and to evaluate the quality of building construction work based on the construction industry standard 7. So as I mentioned just now, we have QLASSIC CIS 7, which is based on for quality for building construction works, and we do have another CIS which is QLASSIC CIS 19 lah. That one's more focused on complete quality assessment for completed roadworks. So for your information to date, CIDB we have around roughly 30 CIS lah. CIS ni stand for Construction Industry Standard, whereby for QLASSIC we have CIS 7 and then CIS 19. Okay, so basically QLASSIC is basically based from if everyone have heard about Conquest lah. So QLASSIC is based, the system method is derived from Conquest, which is developed by BCA lah. BCA Singapore, leading construction authorities of Singapore. So in Malaysia we adopt it and then make it our own system lah, which is QLASSIC, and then we have the standard which we use together with the QLASSIC, which is CIS 7 lah. So basically, QLASSIC enables the quality of construction works between construction project to be objective compared to a scoring system lah. So for your information, QLASSIC is already registered lah. We have trademark it, whereby only CIDB can use the logo lah. And then for when we derive inwards, there's a TM trademark. Okay, so we have registered with IP lah. Okay, only CIDB allowed to use QLASSIC, the term of QLASSIC and their logo lah. Okay, so what are the objective of QLASSIC lah? There are four basically main objective, which is first is to benchmark the level of quality in the construction sector, whereby the standard is standard, whereby if we were to use QLASSIC referring to CIS 7, if we were to use to assess on a project, for example project A and project B, so the outcome, the scoring will be can be used as a benchmark lah. For example, project A got 80 and then project B got 75. So that's how we use QLASSIC lah, benchmark the level of quality, and then to identify the contractor's performance. Basically, this is whereby the client will use it to, for example, they have project A, one project, and then for example they divide project to two phases. So maybe first phase is contractor A, and then the second phase is contractor B. So they can use Klassic to identify the quality for each contractor performance. So we can carry out the Klassic assessment divided to two. Okay. And then to ensure that the construction industry players are always consistent in providing quality of work. So nowadays, the big guns like developer Sunway, Sunrise, they are competing against each other who have the highest score. Okay, so this is how they are compete among each other. Then fourth is to improve the image of the project owner and ensure marketability in the future. So as you know, as they try to, the client private sector basically try to attain higher score or highest score among each other. So that first is once your Klassic score is high, so they will use it as a marketing tool to sell their product basically their apartments, landed housing to the customer so as a marketability tools. Okay, and then this is the journey of CIS7. So as I just mentioned just now, so we started off CIS7 started off introduced in 2006, and then which is we basically adopt PCA Concourse standard, and then in 2014 is the first revision whereby amendments are being made to suit the current nation practice So that's why we have amendments And then the last one is in 2021 That's the second amendment second revision, which is I think it's a major amendments are being made because I will not explain about the standard in detail, but the standard comprise of civil and structural works, then architecture works, and mechanical and electrical works, and then lastly is external work. So based on the CIS7 2001, we have removed the structure works, and the basic M&E we just leave it for basic M&E. So those are the major amendments the reason why, because QLASSIC basically we the assessment is carried out before the VP patent possession. So the assessments usually carried out during the architect works have completed So that's why the current CIS7 2001 we more focus on the architect works so I will not be explaining on in detail Okay. So who involved in the development of CIS7? So basically CIS7 is not developed only by CIDB. We invite industry players to give some input For example, we invite JKR, JPN, Jabatan Peramah Negara, KPKT, REDA, Master Builders, HPA, CABE, PAM, ACM, and then we also have CREAM and IUM which involved in the development of the CIS7 for 2001. Okay, so it's not standard solely developed by CIDB. We carry out workshops to get the input from the industry. Okay. So what are the government policies related to QLASSIC? Okay, for your information, the 12th Nation Plan RMK 12 2001 until 2015 have highlighted that QLASSIC assessment is to be made compulsory in order to deliver affordable housing. So inside in RMK 12 by 2035 the government is supposed to deliver 500,000 of affordable housing units, 400,000 units. So QLASSIC will be used as a assessment system to ensure the quality of this affordable housing. Okay, it's RMK 12. And then next is the Dasar Perumahan Negara DPN 2018 to 2025. So QLASSIC certification is also made compulsory for public and private housing projects, but there's no indication of score set by the SO. So they just make it compulsory to carry out QLASSIC assessment for public and private housing project. Okay, next policy is Dasar Pemahaman Pemilik Negara 2018-2038 also highlighted that QLASSIC certification is to be carried out for all affordable housing projects. Okay. Lastly is the National Construction Policy 2030 NCP. So inside there's trust. So for QLASSIC is highlighted in core 1, which is strengthening quality and safety in construction project, whereby at E1.4 QLASSIC is to be recognized as a assessment system to be used for quality assessment. Okay, so those are the current policies that relate to QLASSIC, to how to say to increase or to the adoption to increase the adoption. So okay, so the statistic of QLASSIC Okay, for your information, since this is the data since 2006 until August 2023, okay, so most project that carry out QLASSIC is mostly private projects whereby as I mentioned just now, the private sector are using QLASSIC basically as a marketing tool whereby if they got a higher score, they can promote it and include inside their marketing saying that they have provided a quality project. So that's why the private sector is the adoption of QLASSIC is mainly used by the private sector compared to the government. So government until August we only have around 14 project that has been assessed for QLASSIC. That's why we at CIDB are trying to ensure that QLASSIC is also being adopted in the government project Okay. Okay, these are the average QLASSIC assessment score from year 2016 until 2022. Okay, for your information, okay, basically the private sector, basically the score is higher compared to the government sector. Usually in practice by the private sector, they will indicate the score inside the contract. They will indicate, for example, 75 score that the contractor need to achieve. So that's why for the private sector, the score is slightly higher This is higher compared to the government sector. For the government sector, so far there's no mewajibkan. There's no indication inside PWD form that requires QLASSIC to be carried out So that's why for government projects, assessment is basically as voluntary voluntary, and then there's no indication of score as I just mentioned just now, because they also that QLASSIC is not make it compulsory for QLASSIC for government project. Okay, so basically the average for government project is for year 2016 it's around 64, then 69, 72 increase, and then 2019 downward back to 61, and then increase back to 65, 70. So basically private sector is roughly around 70 and above since 2016. So the average score for private and government is still above 68 but the weightage more to the private side. Okay. Higher compared to the government. Okay, these are the highest QLASSIC score by state and number of assessment for the year 2022. Okay, so as you can see, most of the state carry out QLASSIC assessment, but the number is different compared to each other. If you can see, the highest project assessed for QLASSIC is in Selangor, roughly around 74 for last year. For Selangor, around 70 projects have been assessed Selangor, and then the lowest project being assessed for QLASSIC in Kelantan, which is only one. Okay, so for the highest score in for the last year record lah, which by being they have been recognized, we have Check Day. So Check Day, we will basically award or recognize the high achiever for QLASSIC. So for last year 2022, the highest QLASSIC score is in Johor lah. Okay, Sangwi, if I'm not mistaken, Sangwi or Kalasari. Okay, so the score is around roughly 90. Okay, these are the score by state. As you can see, the score is almost 65 and above lah. Okay. This is the average QLASSIC score by building category for the year 2022. So we have for the QLASSIC we have category, but I will not explain in detail because the next presenter will be explaining about it. Okay, so we have category A, which is landed, B high rise, C public without centralized aircon, and D is with public building with centralized aircon. So far for last year, 248 projects have been assessed. So category A, mostly landed project have been assessed lah. So the highest project been assessed in category A lah for landed residential. For example, includes terrace housing, bungalow, semi-D, double-story house, single terrace house, double-story terrace house, single-story terrace house. Those are the project being assessed for category A lah. Okay, the highest score for category A is 90, which is in Johor lah. Then the lowest is 58. And then basically the average for category A is 77.06 lah. Okay, for category B, which is high rise, 59 projects have been assessed, which include apartments, condo. Okay, so the highest score is around 88, and then the lowest score is 55, and then the average score is roughly around 76 lah. Okay, for category C, public building without air condition. So total assessment carried out is around 42. The highest score is 83, lowest is 65, and then the average is around 73.48. Okay, and then category D is public building with centralized aircon. So around 25 projects have been assessed last year. So the highest score is roughly around 88 scoring. Then the lowest is 56, and the average is 75 lah. These are the option among our industry players lah. The following for example, the project or client that adopts QLASSIC in their project is for example Sindapi Properties, IGM Land, and then Sunway, Sunrise, Skyworld. Those are the private lah. These are few that I listed lah. For the government, it's basically from JKR, PKNS, and Prima. Okay. This is an example or showcase how Prima achieve their score lah, their current score lah. So basically, Prima they started their QLASSIC back in 2014. So the first score is roughly around 60 lah. So throughout the years been increasing lah until to date. The QLASSIC score for this one Pelangi for residency Pelangi Indah is around 80 score. Then for residency Kepayang is around 74. So most of the developers like IGM, Chanabi, the score starting off low around 60. Then along the years until to date they increasing lah from 60 to 80, 85 and above lah. Okay, this is how Prima implement QLASSIC lah. So basically QLASSIC is not being carried out during the architect works lah. Should be start during the structure works lah. So the implementation is basically from the overall process of the project lah. So you cannot start, for example, inside the contract you did not indicate requirement to fulfill CIS7 requirement as standard and then QLASSIC. And then in the middle of the progress, for example, the client would like to include QLASSIC. So first it will increase a bit cost, and then the process will be slightly changed lah. Okay, so for Prima, it started off during the briefing stage, whereby they will indicate the score for this project need to achieve how many score, and then throughout the phases they will come, Prima team will come and work together with the contractor lah to attain or to achieve a higher score lah. So they will start off during the structure works lah. Okay. So, okay, as you can see from the picture, during the structure works, they ensure lah everything is in line. For example, if your column, the alignment is not aligned, surely it will affect your architect works lah, your brick works or your plastering works. So that's why during the structure works, for Prima team, they have carried out the SP, how to say, they have their own programs lah. So they carry out the QLASSIC process since the structure process, during the structure process. As you can see, they will monitor during the structure works, structure phase. Okay, and then once the structure been completed, they will also start to monitor during the architect works. As you can see, the hollows, check hollowness, everything. Okay. And then they also, a good practice is to ensure the material are being kept or to avoid damages. As you can see, the door frame is put on top of kocai, 2 kali, for example, 2 kali 3, to avoid first the door frame to be karat lah, corroded, and then damage to the door frame lah, or window frame. I think this is window frame, knuckle frame. Okay, knuckle frame, and then for the steel bar also the same, deform bar, then pipes. That's how they ensure lah there's no damage to the material, because basically material cost nowadays is quite pricey lah, high. So that's why they try to ensure the quality of the materials is in good condition before installation. Okay. Next, I will go to QLASSIC awareness, QLASSIC training. So far in CIDB, we have 2 related QLASSIC trainings. First is QLASSIC awareness course, which is carried out physical or online. So the duration is basically 1 day. So basically the aim of the course is to enable participants to acquire the knowledge on CI7 lah. So it's open to the government sector or the private sector and then you can go training to CIDB Holding. You can I've even or you can just Google CIDB Holding. You can go register the class in their system, and then just register online, then you can go to the course lah. Okay, because first is QLASSIC awareness. Okay, for those who are interested to become QLASSIC assessor lah, CIDB QLASSIC assessor, first they need to go QLASSIC assessor course lah, which is physical only. So it's a 3-day course, which one they have comprised of 3 modules. First module is theory, and then second module is practical, 1 day, and then module 3 is examination lah. So last time, previously, we make QLASSIC awareness compulsory. For you, if we were to become a QLASSIC assessor, you need to attend first the QLASSIC awareness course. But we changed a bit the process. You just need to attend the QLASSIC assessor course and then make sure that you pass lah. For the module 3, it's basically an examination. There's only fail or pass lah. So for those who pass, you can go to the next stage. I will explain later. So what are the entry requirements? Basically, Malaysian citizen, and then age 25 to 70 years. Okay, possess recognized academic qualification in construction related field at least certificate level lah. At least you have certificate ni, meaning like sijil pembinaan, bukan that meaning certificate of attendance. It's basically certificate. The level of the cert is certificate level. Certificate level. At least, and then lastly is a minimum at least 2 years experience in the construction field. Okay. So for those, okay. Then I will be explaining how. For example, if you are interested to become a QLASSIC assessor, this is the flow lah. Okay, basically you need to attend first lah. Apply first for the QLASSIC assessor course. by CIDB holding. Only for the Klassic awareness and assessor, the trainings are being carried out by CIDB holding lah, but they have trainers that will also park under them lah. So make sure that training is by CIDB holding lah. CIDB holding. Okay. So first you need to apply for the course, okay, through CIDB holding, and then make sure your application is complete lah. If complete, can go to the next stage lah. If not, you have to tidak lengkap, need to go back lah. Okay, and then once your complete application is complete, you make payment everything, then you can attend to the QLASSIC assessor course lah. Okay, CIS7 Okay, and then next, after you completed module 1, module 1 is basically theory 1 day. The trainer will explain you how to identify compliance or non-compliance based on CIS7. Then the second day is basically practical meaning they will provide a show house whereby they will indicate there's, for example, at wall surface, you need to identify is there any incompliance to CIS7 lah. So that one is a practical day 2. Then lastly is day 3 is module 3, whereby it's basically an examination lah, whereby you need to it's an exam. There's no more last time we have a written exam, but there's no more written exam. You just straightforward like practical concept, but you need to make sure that your score is for the overall score, your result must be intolerance plus and minus 5 lah. If you're more than, for example, your score is, the trainer score is 30, but you get around 24, so you fail lah. You need basically, if the assessor, the trainer score is 30, at least within 25 or 35. That's the passing mark lah. That's why I mentioned plus minus 5. Okay, so if you go to pass the exam, you will get a slip, a letter from CIDB holding informing that you have passed lah. If you fail, you just can go back lah. Just pay back the current one. You can just go, it's either you go back attending the same course, or you just repeat the examination only. No need for you, that's the option lah. But if you feel that you need to go again, so you need to pay the full cost lah. But if you rasa confident just to go for the examination, just pay for the examination fee, and then just make sure you pass lah. Okay, once you pass, you can go for the permohonan lah, permohonan penilaian klasik to CIDB. So you need to fill in a form, and then submit your proof of passing the examination by letter lah from CIDB holding, and then attendance of slip of attendance lah for the day 1 and day 2, module 1 and module 2 lah. Okay, once you have completed your submission, okay, CIDB will process. If everything comply, we will submit your application to our pusat nilai certification center lah. We call it PP, which is now is CRIM. So CRIM set up a hands-on session lah, whereby you need to tag along with experienced assessor. Will follow them, and then you need to carry out around 30 samples separately at the project, and make sure that there's a module lah. You need to pass at least 5. The tolerance is 5 minus 5 lah. Okay. Okay, if you go to pass the hands-on, you there's a jawatankuasa lah, committee for certification. If you were to fail, you just repeat the hands-on lah. Okay. If you were through the jawatankuasa, everything is comply, you submitted all the form, you will be lulus, pass, and then you will be certified as a CIDB QLASSIC assessor. But if you were to fail, is the committee will decide lah what you have to do lah to make sure that you pass lah. Okay. So this is an example of today. Before this this one is check day lah. We call check day, whereby checks is basically safety and health, environment and quality lah di 2023 lah. So we carry out this one this year. Okay, so basically for those project that manage to attain high score will be basically recognized lah through awards. So for this year, for private project, Klassic score it must be 80 and above lah to get the recognition lah. So these are the recognition lah. Okay, for government project at least 75 and above lah the Klassic score. Okay, so these are this year punya criteria lah. Maybe if the following year the score is, for example, 80, dah ramai can 18, maybe we can really increase lah to 85 and above lah. So the highest is for this year is 90 lah, that I mentioned just now. Okay, for your information, I would like to promote lah. For next year, we have a Supreme Chef lah award, whereby if you manage to attain high Klassic score, high chassis score, and then for building works, if you were to apply for MyCrash certification, you will can be a candidate for Supreme Chef lah. That one is for building works, but for infra works, you just go for chassis, must attain high score lah, and then go for infrastar. Will be if you were to apply for this scheme, this program, and then you manage to get a high score, you can be listed lah as candidates for Supreme Chef Award lah. So for building work, the criteria must apply Klassic, Classic, and MyCrash. But for infra project like roadworks, everything, I can go apply for Infrastar and then Classic. Okay. For your information lah, our CIS 7 is no longer free. You can purchase it at our website lah. I share the website. Okay, so the price at 65 ringgit or 75. You can check it out lah. Okay. So CIS 1 until CIS 30. So you can go to our website www.cidb.gov.my and then just search for standard, and then we'll start. So you can purchase the CIS 7 lah, edition 2021. Okay, the way forward Klassic, we at CIDB are currently try to make sure that QLASSIC is being made compulsory for government and private building projects lah. So we are approaching KKR, and then we're also approaching KPKT lah to make QLASSIC compulsory lah. But the mechanism have not yet been finalized, so insyaAllah in the future lah. And then the second way forward is the enhancement of QLASSIC CIS7 lah, assessment method, whereby we'll adopt new technology lah inside our assessment, not only tools, QLASSIC tools. We have, for example, laser device, drones to assist the assessor to carry out the QLASSIC assessment lah. Okay, I think that's all for me. For any Q&A, I think maybe the last session can maybe write out your any question. Okay, so I thank you. So I will end my presentation and pass back to Technology Sinta.
Thank you so much, Technology Spice Master, for your presentation. I can see there are some questions in the chat box, but we will bring them up later after the last presentation. Right, so let's move on to our second speaker, Encik Muhammad Azam Azmai from Construction Research Institute of Malaysia, CRIM. So Encik Azam is an assessment officer in CRIM. He graduated from Management and Science University in Bachelor of International Business in 2015. He is a qualified QLASSIC assessor and MyCRAS, as well as Sustainable Infrastructure Facilitator and Assessor. He is responsible to handle inquiry and application of CHASIC, QLASSIC, MyCRAS, Sustainable Infrastructure from clients to conduct a QLASSIC assessment at sites as QLASSIC assessor. And today he will share his expertise with QLASSIC application and assessment process. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Encik Muhammad Azam as well.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Good morning everyone. Salam Malaysia Madani. Thank you to our MC for today, technologist Intan Diana. Okay. So for our webinar, we will in this series we will cover on QLASSIC. So in my part, I will cover about the QLASSIC application and assessment process. So okay. So
Sorry, can you make it as a presenter view,
sure, sorry.
a full screen? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so this is the the four of the program that has been conducted by CAC. So CAC is actually is a unit, one of the unit under Construction Research Institute of Malaysia, which is to focus to do the any activities that related to assessment and certification. So since 2017, CDB has appointed CRIM through the CAC unit to conduct this four of our main program for SHAD. And the number one is Klassic, is our main topic for today. And second is CHASIC, is the Safety and Health Assessment System in Construction. And MyCRAS is a green building rating tool developed by CIDB. And the latest assessment tool we have is Sustainable Infrastar. It's actually a infrastructure rating tool for green element. Okay. For your information, for the past 6 years, CAC through CRIM has conducted more than 3,000 assessment, project assessment on Klassic, CHASIC, MyCRAS and Infrastar. So introduction of Klassic, I will not say more about this because it's already covered by our previous presenter. So I can highlight here is Klassic is mainly focusing on measure and evaluate the workmanship quality of a building construction. This is the main element and the purpose of CIS7. Klassic enables the quality of workmanship in that particular project to be objectively measured through a scoring system and through percentage. So what I mean by percentage is if the project managed to score 70, 80, 90, so what is the reason behind the score is whatever the project score higher, example is 90%. So it's 90% is 90%, 90% will cover about all the main area, and 90% is they cover on the CI7. So this is a classic certification benefit. So it has four of it, or 4 points here. So what is the benefit if any project the client get from this Classic is number one is automatic CCD points, 20 CCD point for contractors registration renewal. So this for the main contractor that have built the project. And number two is to have a standard quality assessment system for quality of ownership of building project. Okay, so this what this mean by the second point is for the particular project to obtain the better quality of the project. So this is the document for you, besides 7. Number 3 is eligible to be awarded during Classic Day. Okay, Classic Day as mentioned by our previous speaker. This is the annual event that CIDB do every year to award the project team and the client for their betterment in quality. So number 4 is towards continuous improvement in construction quality. So okay, in this point is highlight that the quality is a improvement works. So it's not just limit into one time only. So okay. Next is Classic building category. In Classic, we separate in 2 category, residential and non-residential. In residential, is separated into 2 category, category A and category B. So category A is for landed housing, which is an example of the housing is detached semi house, a terrace and cluster house. Category B is stratified housing. Example of the project is flat, apartment, condominium, service apartment, Soho, and townhouse. For non-residential, we cover on category C and D. What is the differential between this? Is category C is the public, commercial or industrial building without centralized cooling system. Without the aircon is not centralized. Okay, it has split unit aircon. For category D is a same like example like category C, but is a centralized cooling system. Normally in this project on the category D is example like the big buildings, example like hospital, mall, they will be categorized as a category D project. So for example of the non-residential building is an office building, school, factories, warehouse, workshop, hangars, SOBO, and many else. Okay, nowadays there are project that has mixed development project in the particular buildings. Example like nowadays for the high-rise building, they have a project, they have a mall in this project. So it's categorized as a mixed development project. So the respective project and development should be categorized according to the building category. Example, the applicant come to us and they say that they want only to do the classic in the residential buildings only. So even though the project cover in mixed development project, it's cover for residential and non-residential, but the application only be focused on residential project based on request from the client. Here, I will go to Klassic weightage. So this is the weightage for that has been set up by the standard. So as you can see in table 1, this is the allocation of weightage for component of building construction work according to building category. So okay, the three main component in QLASSIC is architectural works, basic and many fittings, and external works. So this is the weightage that has been categorized in the CI7. Okay. So category A and B, the weightage in architectural works is higher than non-residential because of most of the assessment will cover in the architectural works will cover in the unit of the project itself. As you can see, it's residential buildings is where the people the person will live in. Okay, so the architectural work is basically it's a unit, it's the house itself. So the assessment will focus more on the quality of the architecture works. Basic and many fittings is very basic fittings like switches and anything and else. Okay, for external work, the weightage is lesser than non-residential. Okay. So these are the components to be assessed in QLASSIC, as I mentioned before, for architectural works. You have architecture work, basic M&E, and also external works. So what is the architecture works? Okay, architecture works is deal mainly with finishes. This is where the quality and standard of workmanship are most visible. This is the element in architecture works. We have roof, window, door, internal features, ceiling, perimeter, drain and apron, internal wall, floor, and lastly external wall and fixtures. So the element, the defect and what is the checking part will be covered by our next presenter. In this architecture work is where the assessor will mostly do the assessment in the particular project. I will not go detail on this. This is the QLASSIC weightage for architecture element. In architecture element, this is the element that mostly then will cover in the assessment. We have separated into 3 categories: internal finishes, external finishes, and material and functional tests. So this is the breakdown and weightage. For internal finishes, we will cover from floor, wall, ceiling, door, window, and external finishes. So these breakdowns already mentioned in the CI7. For external finishes, we cover on roof, external wall, apron and perimeter drain, car park and car porch. And lastly, material and functional tests. We cover on skim coat or pre-packed plaster and wet area water tightness. Okay, for this element, for material and functional test, the assessor doesn't have to do the assessment at site. Why is that? Because of these two assessment, these two inspection need to be done by the client, and they need to prove to us by send over the uh, architect letter that mention that this project has been that has covered this both inspection in the project. So just need to declare in the architect form and submit to us to CRIM. So if we receive the evidence, and we will automatically give the score. So this is 6% out of 100% for architecture element. Okay. For your information also, this breakdown may be different based on the particular project. Okay. Example I can give to you is this breakdown. Example like we go to the big project like mall or hospital, which is the external finishes, the roof cannot access because the roof is not accessible. So how the assessors need want to do this assessment? So there's no other way. So we break down the weightage for roof will be separated, prorated to the others element. So maybe if there's none roof with breakdown here, so this 10 point here will be separated or divided equally to the others element in here. So maybe the floor, the breakdown from 18 maybe will be increased to 20 or 21 or something like that. So this breakdown is not final, but it depends on the condition of the project. So mostly 68% is covered for internal finishes. Under the for the residential is covered on the internal of the unit. So for the projects need to be focused and careful about the quality inside the internal finishes. This is a classic sampling guideline. So I saw of the question in chat box, so hopefully I can answer your question. Okay, in QLASSIC, we do the sampling based on the GFA in the project. Okay, so it's really it's not practical to do the assessment in all unit all unit or house in the particular project. For example, nowadays the high-rise resident, the number of units is increasing based on the project. And the most of the project right now is focused on high-rise unit, high-rise building in category B. If you see in my previous project, so nowadays the project already, based on our record, the number of units increasing, starting from maybe 2,000 unit to 3,000 units. So it's really impossible for CRIM and assessor to do the assessment in all of the unit. It will take a month or 2 months to finish the project. So by that, Klassic realized the issue. So they introduced the sampling guideline here. Okay, for internal finish, okay, for sampling, the minimum sample of the sampling is 30, and the maximum sample is based on the building category. So the highest maximum sample is from category A, so landed housing, 700 sample, 600 sample for category B, 150 for category C, and 100 for category D. This maximum sample has been categorized based on the category of the building. Okay, so this is the GFA per sample. Okay, from here, how CREAM do the sampling, calculate the sampling based on the GFA by the GFA that has been set or provided by the applicant. So this is sampling practice in CREAM. So for category A, if the project need to do the 700 sample, which is the maximum sample, this is our practice. So one unit will cover on 10 sample. So for 70 unit, we cover 700 sample, maximum sample. So this is the category A. And category B, this numbers is the same practice is the same. One unit will cover 10 sample. What is the sample? I will cover in the next slide. So that's for internal finishes. And for external finishes, for roof and external wall, we will cover 50%. So 50% of the blocks or unit will be divided into minimum 4 sections for the assessment. Okay. For apron and perimeter drain and kapak kaposh, the minimum sample has been set by the standard is 2 sample. So if the project also will cover about the kapak, so after we done the assessment and unit assessment for external finishes, we will go to the car park area or car porch. We will take only two sample for the project. So the remark say is 10 meter length section per sample. So the parking, the length is normal 10 meter length, and we'll take 2 samples from it. Material and functional tests I mentioned before is we will provide it or declare with evidence by the qualified person, qualified professional. Okay. So this is the sampling. This Klassic weightage for location. So the total number of location will be distributed according to principal area, services area, and circulation area based on the percentage set out in the 4 categories, categories of building in table 4 in here. Okay, for location principal, we have 3: principal, services, and circulation. So this weightage has been set by the standard. It's not the CREAM, not just our we do our practice based on this percentage that's set up by the standard CI7. So location sample from our practice is, like I mentioned in previous slide, for one unit we cover 10 sample. So why? Because of the percentage has been set like this: 40, 40, 20 for category A, for 100 sample. So for 100 sample for this project for category A, we need to take 40 sample from the project to cover the principal area, 40% for the services area, and 20% for the circulation area. What is the area? You can see in the right of the table, right side of the table. So what is the principal location? It's a major functional areas. Mostly the people use most of their time in the area here. So what is the area? Is the living room, dining area, bedroom. Bedroom will be covered separate into master bedroom, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, and study room, waiting room, meeting room, and hall, and etc. Okay. What is the services location? Is a utility area. So the example of the area is a bathroom, master bathroom, balcony, kitchen, pantry, yard. And lastly is the circulation location, is the human traffic area. So most of the human use their time to waiting area here. What is the area? Is the lobby, corridor, staircase, entrance, and passageway. Okay. The number 2 I will cover on basic M&E fitting, material and electrical area. Okay. The quality of M&E works is important in view of its increasingly high cost proportion and its impact on the maintenance of a building. The assessment only cover for basic fittings only, and cover on plumbing and M&E fitting. For plumbing, the assessor will assess the quality of the finished work. For floor trap, for fitting we cover on shower tap and water and others element that have been installed in the location. For M&E fittings, we cover on power points, switches and light. We will cover only the finishing part for this element. Weightage for basic M&E fitting here. So category A, B, C, and D, the percentage and the weightage is different. Okay. External works. Beside the internal finishes and external finishes, the QLASSIC also cover and look about looking at the quality of the external work of the certain project, because external work cover the general external work element in building construction. So based on the latest CI 7 2021, this is the example of the external work location will be covered and assessed by the assessor. And number 1 is the linkway and shelter, external drain, swimming pool, footpath and turfing, playground, court, roadwork, and fence and gate. The defect and how to assess will be covered on the next speaker. This is the classic sampling guideline for external works. So the sub-component in external work is infrastructure and facility or amenities. For infrastructure, we'll cover the location that I mentioned before, linkway, drain, anti-fence and gate. And this is the sample. 10 for linkway to footpath, we cover 10 meter length per section and minimum 2 sample. For fence and gate, only 1 sample. Facility or amenities for playground, court, and swimming pool. Playground and court will cover 1 location. And swimming pool will cover 10 meter length per sample, and the minimum is 1 sample. The assessor just need to follow this the sample guideline when they do the assessment. But not all this location is need to have in the project. So example, like if the project doesn't have playground, doesn't have swimming pool of it, so the weightage of the project, the element will be separated to others weightage. Okay, this is a classic assessment approach. Okay, basically the assessment approach is before the assessment will be carried out. So this is more to the application process. So for the main con or the client, what they need to do, what is the evidence they need to submit. So this is the element. For architectural work and external work, assessment take place upon project completion and prior to handing over. So what is the evidence? So in our process, the main document evidence that we need to have from the client is surat vacant possession or vacant possession letter. So what is the importance of this letter? Because of we want to know when the project will be handing over to the client. So we don't want we don't want to do the assessment beyond the date or past the date of the VP, because of we don't want uh, to do the assessment when the client already inside of the building. Okay, so maybe the quality will be affected. And next is surat pelakuan arkitek. Okay, in here surat pelakuan arkitek, or we call it a declaration letter. When this letter where the architect will declare the total GFA of the project, and if the project has made the test on the water the tightness, and also have implement the plaster wall. In here also, in surat pelakuan architect, the architect also can declare other things that may be not or beyond the standard. Example I can give to you is based on the standard inside I7, this mentioned at the element of door, the defect area, the tolerance. The gap between the door and the door frame is not more than 5 mm. Example, but during the design of the project, is already designed. The project already designed the gap that I mentioned previously is more than 5 mm. Okay, so these are the things that the client need to be careful, because of when the assessment is take place. So during that time, the client will advise the assessor or blame the assessor if the assessor find out that things, the gap, the assessor will take it as a defect, but it's not. It's already on the design itself. So this thing need to be captured and need to be careful from the client side or the developer side. Second point is applicant to declare readiness of project. It's a surat pelakuan siap kerja. So surat pelakuan siap kerja ni, this where is the project ready to do the assessment. And number 3 is independent assessor to avoid any conflict of interest. It's a very clear here that example is the assessor must be very what must be different or other person from the client side. Example, like the client they have their own assessor, but their own assessor cannot assess their own project. So maybe if we do that, we become a conflict of interest or bias for the scoring. Okay, number 4 is statistical sampling. As I mentioned before, it's impractical to conduct full assessment. So that's why CIDB has introduced the minimum sample and maximum sample depends on the building category. Generally, the number of samples that need to be assessed is calculated based on the floor area of the project. So example here, if the total project, the total GFA is 50,000 meters square. So it will divide it into 70 meters square and will equal to 714 sample. So if it is sample, this is the example of how we calculate the total GFA and how to we receive the sample, the number sample. So if 714 here, so category A, maximum sample of the project, the QLASSIC will take 700 sample. It's all maximum sample for category A. Next is QLASSIC assessment flow. It's a 5 flow here: application, sampling, notification of assessment, site project assessment, and QLASSIC score. Now, number 1 is application, where main contractor to submit application in QLASSIC portal or application form by manual. So for your information, right now only main contractor is required to do the application for the QLASSIC. Okay. Number 2 is sampling. Number of sampling to be assessed based on the total GFE and sampling guideline in CI7. Number 3 is notification of assessment when we do the sampling, and next we will notify the assessor. So assessor is independent and certified CIDB assessor to carry out the assessment. Okay. Number 4 is site project assessment. Okay, when the assessor has notified, they will go to the project. So during the assessment, they will come to the project and do the the assessment at the project site. So normally in Klassic program, Klassic assessment, the total number of project is from 1 to 4 days. And lastly, when the project has been assessed, CRIM will issue the assessment report and certification. This is the sampling method. The first is we do the calculate, but I'll give you an example before how we calculate the GFA. Number 2 is sample location. This is to determine the sample location from the floor plan drawing. And then sample location should be marked according to principal, services, and circulation area. Okay, this sample location is really important to do because of when when the assessor and the team have already arrived at the project, so they already know where is the location, what is the principal or circulation or service area that they need to check. So for the sampling and sampling location, sampling method will be done by CRIM. Next is unit selection. It's only applicable for residential building, for landed and stratified building. So selection of unit must be done evenly and equally. But what's the meaning of it? Okay, I give you an example. If the example of a high-rise building. So high-rise building, the maximum sample is 600 sample. Okay, and then the total number of unit will be 60 unit. Okay, if the particular project have 2 tower, so each tower will cover 30 tower A and 30 for tower B. So the sample will be divided evenly and equally. Okay. Next is lead assessor will take responsibility during the assessment. Okay. During the assessments, the assessor selection, we will select the lead. A CRIM will select the lead assessor. So the lead assessor, the responsibility is more compared to the other team member. So because they need to do the opening meeting, need to introduce the team member, the purpose of the assessment. He or she will do the task delegation, and lastly, after the assessment, we will do the closing meeting. The closing meeting is where the element or the findings during the assessment will be shared by the assessor. Next is QLASSIC assessment activity. So this is the activity at site that will be covered by the assessor. So number 1 is the lead assessor will introduce team member, explain the scope of assessment, to understand the limitation and exclusion of the project. Okay, this is I mentioned before in the client need to look at the surat architect. They already declare what is maybe some element that need to be excluded, or some of the design not meet the criteria in the CI7. So need to discuss first before the assessor do the assessment. Lastly is to inform sample and unit selection and to ensure all sample or unit selected are available for the assessment. This is very important things. That's why the VP later is very important take place where the assessor will come before the VP take. We want to avoid the unit that we have been selected, we cannot assess due to the arrival of the home buyer. Okay. Next is assign job. Lead assessor to divide and distribute sample and unit equally to member. Okay. So for QLASSIC, the total number of team member depends on the sampling or the number of sample and days of assessment. Best, normally in our practice, for assessment for 1 or 2 days, we will cover on 2 assessor. So for the maximum sample for category category A and B for maximum sample, it will be divided into 2 teams. So the total number of assessor is could require is four assessor. Site assessment. Assessor to conduct the assessment using the correct assessment tool. All findings to be recorded into QLASSIC apps or the manual form. Okay. Lastly, the lead assessor to brief generally common findings found during the assessment. During the closing meeting, what is the findings of the project? The assessor will need to need he responsible to share the findings. This is how to apply for QLASSIC. So right now, we only accept QLASSIC application by manual or application form because of there has some enhancement in the QLASSIC portal right now. So maybe you click at the QLASSIC CIB.jv.my right now is maybe in maintenance progress. So don't worry, CIB Malaysia will look into this and improve the portal in the near future. So this is the interface of the portal. Okay, any fee? Okay, for QLASSIC, yes, starting from 2020, last year, this is the new fees the client need to pay. But this fee only applies to the private project only. For category A and B, is the fees is divided based on the total GFA. Because really simple things because of the more the same the GFA will be the more the sample and more the total number of assessor and total number of days is required. So this fee is important. Okay. For category C and D, less than 50,000 GFA, the total is 1,400. So the starting fee for Classic is 3,400 and the maximum 9,500. Okay. The fee for government project will be subsidized by CDB Malaysia. Until when? I don't know. Okay. Duration. So normally the duration be starting from application to the report is basically in 21 days or less. But the duration indicate above is subjected to the proposed assessment date set by the client. Okay. Okay, this is a sample of Classic assessment certificate. If the project already registered in the portal, and after the assessment, the applicant will receive the e-certificate that look like this. This is the project title, the application number, when is the assessment date, who is the developer or owner of the project, who is the main contractor, and lastly, the CCD point also mentioned here, and the grade of the contractor and the overall Classic score. Okay, maybe this certificate looks so simple to you. So Cream already have our own initiative to design the certificate that looks more colorful and entertaining. Okay, so this is the design of the hard copy certificate. Will be signed by our CEO, Engineer M. Ramusaran, Cream CEO. So for hard copy certificate it has some cost need to be paid by the applicant to request this, not so much, only 250 ringgit Malaysia for hard copy certificate and the report. So the project, the information from the hard copy is like the information is project title, project application number, developer, contractor, assessment date, and final score. Okay. So that's all for my presentation. So as a classic slogan here is doing things right the first time and every time. So good luck to every one of you and enjoy the webinar series. I pass the floor to our MC for Technologies in Diana. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Muhammad Azam, for your presentation. If you guys have any questions for him, you can write them down in the chat box, and I will bring them up after our next presentation from Encik Muhammad Helmi Yuzi, Muhammad Amit. So let me introduce him first. So Encik Muhammad Helmi Yuzi Muhammad Hamid is an assessment executive in CREAM. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in building surveying from University Technology Mahara, Shah Alam. He is a qualified QLASSIC assessor. As an assessment executive, he is responsible to coordinate QLASSIC assessor in performing work on site, review QLASSIC report and certification, process QLASSIC application, and carry out QLASSIC assessment. And today, Encik Helmi will share his experience with QLASSIC assessment and what he usually finds during assessment. So please welcome Encik Muhammad Helmi Yuzi.
Can share.
Yes, yes, we can see your slide.
Ada keluar?
Mm,
Ada keluar?
Can you stop sharing first? Now you're sharing your screen. Okay,
Share.
can you share
Okay.
your PowerPoint? Okay, yes. Okay.
Okay. Share window. Okay. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Hamid Yuzi. On CREAM Webinar Series 2023, I will present my part assessor guidance, best practice tips and common assessment finding. Okay, we go through for the first slide. Okay, this is our basic assessment tools that we use when doing a QLASSIC assessment on the site. Okay, the first one is tapis route. Second one, spirit level 1.2 meter. The third one, L square, so 200 millimeter times 300 millimeter. Then steel wedge and steel gauge, angle mirror. So this 6 item is the basic tools that we use during a QLASSIC assessment activity. Okay, we go through one by one. For the first tapis route that we use to checking hollowness on floor and wall. Also, this tapis route we use usually on the floor surface. Usually on floor, we use on the floor surface, also and a skirting. Skirting usually we use only skirting tiles only. For method use the swipe, floor and wall surface. When we swipe, firstly you hold the tapis route. We swipe, and then if you hear the sound something different from other tiles, something sound maybe not solid, not a solid sound. Maybe you swipe, then you can stop and you can tap to make sure is it a hollow sound or not. It's the same, also same with the wall surface. Okay. For tile skirting, you can use tapis route, swipe or tapping. Usually we tapping. Tapping is more convenient for tile skirting. Also, this tapis route are not suitable use for the timber flooring and skirting, timber skirting. Okay. The other use for tapered to detect any leakage on tile. If you swipe every floor on floor, usually you swipe, and then if you see you feel your ball bearing bounce from the floor, then you can use a steel wedge and L square to confirm is there any leakage between two tiles on that floor. Okay, the next one is spirit level 1.2 meter. Usually we use this spirit level to check evenness on floor and wall. Method use usually place the spirit level on floor, usually on corner and on the center. Also, spirit level we using on bathroom to see fall. Is there any fall on the bathroom? Going to make sure the water going run down into the floor track. Also, this spirit level 1.2 we use on the staircase to make sure there is no any gap on staircase staircase rise. And the tolerance for floor and wall surface are 3 mm. When you put usually when you put the spirit level on the wall or floor surface, and then if you saw something gap, you can use the steel wedge and slot in into under the spirit level to measure the gap. If the gap are more than 3 mm on the wall surface, there is a defect in the QLASSIC. And for rest staircase, 5 mm, also the same method. If you see any gap, you can slot in the steel wedge to make sure not more than 5 mm. Okay, the other use display level to check the leveling on fixtures items such as wash basin, water cistern, fixed cabinet. Okay, the next one is L square. We use L square 200 mm times 300 mm. Usually this one to checking wall made at right angle, usually at the corner, inner and outside. Method use, place the L square on wall corner and leakage between two tiles. Okay, the method leakage on between two tiles, I will show you on the next slide. Okay. Okay, for L square, if you see any gap or any you see a non-consistent wall area, I mean wall corner, you can put the L square on wall corner and you use the steel wedge to measure the angle to measure the gap for L square. Okay, for corner, actually I didn't put on the slide. In this corner must not more than 4 mm. Okay, the other use for the L square, you can use at the check door panel and frame corner to maintain at right angle. You can see this picture. You can see our assessor, QLASSIC assessor, used the L square to make sure get the right angle. The tolerance is 0 mm. To make sure the frame or the frame door is not any sagging, any must straight and perfect. Okay, this three is our small item that we use. First, we go through one by one. Steel wedge. Okay, the first with steel wedge to measure floor and wall alignment and evenness. As I mentioned just right now, steel wedge usually pairing with spirit level to checking the evenness. Usually on wall surface, sticky rice, to make sure not more than 3 mm. Also switch pairing with S-square to checking alignment and leapage. Alignment at the corner and leapage between two tiles at floor. Okay, this steel gauge. Also we call steel rule. Sometimes other sensor call this one is steel rule. Also this one is same steel gauge and steel rule. It is used to measure consistent gap on top and above door panel. We can slot in. We can check every gap and from top and above. Make sure not more than 5 mm tolerant. Also to measure between door panel and frame. We can use to slot in top, down, and also right and left. To see door panel and frame not more than 5 mm. Okay, the last one is angle mirror. Angle mirror usually we use to detect painting work on top and bottom door panel. Also, it is can use any block. Maybe you can use the we call any block item, block element you cannot see just from the under wash basin, under the WC. Okay, the next slide. This is our QLASSIC assessment form for internal finishes. Okay, you can see right here. You just state our project, block, and unit. The assessor usually use this form when to do a QLASSIC assessment. They must fill up all this blank place. Just project, what your project going, block A, block B, anything, and unit number usually. Okay, and the project ID usually they have state at the surat pemakluman. Usually when assessor get the job from CRIM, they get a surat pemakluman, and then surat pemakluman state the project ID. Also the date assessment. Usually assessor, we use two assessor for. Usually we use assessor pairing two assessor assessor 1 and assessor 2. Okay, this is item and element we check: floor, wall, ceiling, door, window, fixtures, and basic fitting. Okay, this I just fill the item and location. You can see it's a living. For the I just circle living on P. It's called a principal. Principal, S for services, and C circulation. Okay, we just check living, master bed, bath 1, kitchen. Bath 1 and kitchen usually a service area. We call a wet area. Anything has a floor trap, wet area, we use called as services. And the entrance, one part of the circulation is a way human traffic. When human go in, go out, inside, we cross at the circulation. Okay, this form I just show you. This is just example I just show you. For living, finishing is a cross. Maybe on finishing has a stain or stain that cannot remove, such as paint stain and other maybe concrete stain. And also I just check alignment and evenness. Okay, and the measure okay. The no sound for hollowness, and the jointing usually tiles jointing and timber jointing usually. I just cross. And then same, and the other location I just make a example. You can see just like this, and we calculate number of compliant and number of check. Usually number of compliant you can you can calculate how many item just you write right there. You can see 70. Okay, 17 number of compliance and number of check. If there is no what you call not applicable NA, we call if the item NA is if the item not NA, we can put a number of check like this 25. All the item is if not NA, not applicable, you can calculate all of this. So 17 times 25. Also, the assessor do not forget to fill the form. We call page for form. These are form 1. Okay, we go through the next slide. Common defect finding for architecture work, internal finish. Okay, for floor, usually we just like now industry there's so many floor that we can see. I just state here it's just one only 5 floor. I just state here: tile floor, timber floor, screed finishing, cement screed, raised floor, carpet. And also we check wall, plaster finishing, tile wall, wallpaper, painting, cladding wall, glass panel, and etc. Also shielding, plaster shielding, false shielding. And then door, solid panel door, sliding door, or pocket door, flush door. Also window, lower, top hung, casement, window. And the features, water system, wash basin, railing, kitchen cabinet, wardrobe. And the last one, basic fitting, switches, power point, and floor trap. This 6 plus 1 7 element that we check for internal finishes. Okay, this a picture defect for floor. You can see at the first picture. You can see the first picture. Maybe you just saw a paint stain. In the QLASSIC form, in the QLASSIC assessor, they can see maybe 2 defects you can see. Tile finishes, paint stain, and also at the jointing you can see just paint stain at there. So the next picture, the second one is the grouting. You can see there's a gap on the grouting for tile. And the third is a leakage between 2 tile. I just tell just now how to use the steel wedge and the L square. We can put L square like this, and then slot in the steel wedge under the L square. And then also harness skirting style and the last picture. Okay. Just now I show you finishing and jointing. Because we follow the QLASSIC form. If defect like first picture, you can see the paint stain at the floor tile surface and jointing. You can cross at the finishing and jointing. So there is 2 defect here. You can see. And then the second we can cross at the jointing. And the third, we cross the alignment evenness not more than 1 mm. If they're more, we just cross. And the hollowness cascading, the last one picture is a hollowness. Okay, there is another feature for floor, stand on timber floor. We cross at the finishing, chip damage style. We cross in the form at the crack damages. And the third, we can see timber flooring, gap and damage timber flooring. We cross crack and damage. Also, we can see there is a gap. You can see there is a gap on the timber. Also, we cross the jointing. So there's two defect in this picture. In this one picture has a two defect. Okay, the last one is usually I see one of the maybe beberapa site lah. I just saw there's a ground hairstyle. Ground hairstyle usually appear. It is a from the maybe a moisture, I think from the jointing a cement skid, and then it just spread into the floor tile, so it become like this. It can become like this, become a defect. So we cross at the finishing defect. Okay, the next element is a wall. The first one, as you can see, maybe the picture is not clearly, but I just mark it there. There is a tonality on the wall tile that we cross on the finishing. Okay. And the second one is stand mark and cross finishing. Also hollowness on wall, hollowness. Just a video on this, you can hear sound on wall hollowness. Okay. Okay, the last one, chip on wall and jointing. So we cross at the crack and damage and jointings. And there's two defect in one picture. As you can see, maybe you said why a defect as two. You can see this chip or damage. It just the chip at the corner. It also terkena what we call it also terkena juga dengan dia punya wall lah. Macam dah jointing tu dia ada termasuk dekat dalam wall. So it become a two defect they spread the chip spread into the wall surface. Okay, the next slide is shielding. Stand mark on shielding, we cross finishing, stain and damages, finishing and crack and damages. Two defect. To defect we cross at the second picture. Crack line shielding and jointing shielding. Crack damages and jointing. I just tell right now, just now. The crack from the corner spread into the shielding surface. So we cross to defect. And then the last one is jointing on shadow line. Okay, actually shadow line is one from architect requirement, what we call architect punya design lah, architect design. Shadow line is, as we can see, shadow line some of worker they cannot to make a perfect shadow line. You can see the clear picture on the focus picture. We can see this stand or maybe painting work is not perfect lah. We can see at the shadow line. Sometimes worker not expertise on painting work on shadow line. So we cross at the jointing. Okay, the next slide is for door repairing mark finishing. If there any damage on door, sometimes workers there is a damage on the panel door. The workers not repair with the not repair with the what we call use the apa yang putih tu biasa ni more lah not repair back lah. They just paint back. They just repaint the door panel. As assessor, we can see. As assessor, we see like this. We just cross the finishing because this is not perfect job. That's not a nice view. We can see. Okay, the next one is no painting work on top of door panel. Material, we cross at the material and damages. Usually engine mirror, if there no any other defect on door panel, you can use the engine mirror to look the top and door panel. If there is any painting work or not. Okay, the last one is gap on top of door panel, joint and gap. You can see this picture. There is when we look from the far, we can see there is a perfect gap on every around door panel. But if you wants to make sure there is when you see just a little gap, just to make sure, you must use the steel wedge to measure the gap on the top door panel. As you can see, there is more than 5 mm. So there's defect for joint and gap. Okay, the next picture, paint stain, paint drop on the accessory because of the accessory defect. And the next picture, rusty mark on door handle, also because on the accessories defect. Okay, the last picture, rattling sound when closed. When like this, because of the alignment and evenness. When we close the door, you can see there is any rattling sound. This rattling sound is one of defect lah. Okay, the next one, window. Okay, window, as you can see, panel glass crack because of the material and damages. Window handle not aligned. Because at the accessories defect, you can see this two window handle not aligned. And a piston on frame because of material and damages. And the next features and the railing concrete stain, material and damages, broken flush button, weak cross accessories defect, and gap between basin and tabletop, joint and gap. The last item, basic and main fitting, rusty and joint and gap. So we cross at the joint and gap and accessories defect. So there is two defect you can see. We can see only this, not tile. You can see there's a gap, not the same left and right. Also, we can see the accessories is already rusty, a corrosion. The next one, gap between switches and wall, joint and gap, like you see it here. Okay, the next part not alignment, we cross at alignment and evenness. Sometime like this, assessor need to check every wet area has a flow thread. If they find a half moon like this, they must there is a defect for alignment and evenness. The next one, switches not aligned, alignment and evenness. You can see the switches not in the same level. Okay, we go through the next form. Next form is for external finishes. For the roof, I just make example. Finishing for sample one. Right now, I make example for one block only. One block, finishing, alignment, evenness, is same. Just we just change from Holland to construction. Finishing, alignment, and evenness, crack and damages, construction, jointing. And also, after assessor already assess the roof, and they must calculate the number of compliant and number of check. So 50/20. Okay, different from CS7 2021 roof, as we can see, 50% of the block unit will be divided into minimum 4 sections for the assessment. So I can give you example like this external finisher roof. I show you from the aerial view. So assessor can make can divide half of the roof. You can divide. So this is example for CMD. You can divide like this. One for one sample. Second, sample 2, sample 3, and sample 4. You can divide like this. If you see a CMD, also same for the high-rise building. Also same for the terrace house. Okay, external wall. For external wall, just example for block one block only. It's just same. Defect group, defect group, like roof, finishing, alignment, and evenness, crack and damages, construction, jointing. So 16/20. Okay, this is for external wall. The assessor can divide like this. For the sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, and sample 4. This example for a terrace housing. If they if one block has a 10 unit or more than 50 unit like this, assessor need what we call pandai bahagi lah. Kena make sure lah macam mana diorang nak bahagikan. Tapi dari from the left side, left or right side, mesti assessor must take lah. From the left, and the rest sample 2, 3, 4 from the front or the back. Okay, the next slide, apron and perimeter drain. For apron, we take the apron, perimeter drain, drain cover, inspection chamber. So defect group the finishing, alignment, evenness, damager, fall, gradient, jointing. You can see at the references CS7 2031, page 7, apron and perimeter drain, just take minimum 2 sample. If assessor wants take more than 2, also can. You can see 10 meter length section per sample. So 10 meter for one sample, and then another 10 meter, 2 sample. You can take sample like this one for 10 meter sample, and other And second sample, you can take other house or any area you can take. And you can see the right picture is drain and concealed drain. Okay, the next is car park and car wash. Usually car park and car wash will cover floor, column wall, ceiling features, basic and main fitting. Also minimum 2 sample, 10 meter length section per sample. Okay, this standard features car park car wash, an example. You can take the floor, column or wall, and the ceiling, and there's a basic and main fitting. You can, maybe the picture is too far. If you can see, there's a basic and main fitting there, switches. There's a PowerPoint right there. And then in this picture, there is no features. Features maybe a wardrobe or anything attached to the building, attached to the wall. Okay, the next is we check road work. For road work, we check road surface, road marking, road curb, road sign, and road lighting. Also, footpath and turfing, lighting features. Also, these two items, 10 meter length section per sample and minimum 2 sample. Minimum, you can take more, you can. Different CI 7 2031 page 9. You can take a footpath turfing. You see a perfect turfing like this. And also the second picture, road work. As you can see, road work has a road surface, here road marking, road curb, road lighting, and road sign. So if the assessor take all the element like this, it's better. Okay, the next, linkway shelter. For linkway shelter, floor column, ceiling, roof covering feature, basic and main fitting, and also external drain cover, inspection chamber. Also 10 meter length section per sample and minimum 2 sample. You can see we take a sample for shelter and external drain. For external drain, by CIL, new CIS 2021, so 7 2021. If there any water ponding inside the external drain, the water not flowing, go not flowing, the drain is not flow. We consider as a defect alignment and evenness. And the next item, facing gate, we check fence, gate, basic and main fitting, features. 10 meter length section per sample and minimum 1 sample. Okay, you can take gate, one or 2 sample. You also can take the sample. This is a gate, main gate, and also fence here. If there are any features, any fitting, switches like here, you can take. The next, we cover the playground floor, playground equipment, lighting, side drain features. Okay, we cover playground, courts, swimming pool. Usually, on-site has one, I think, one location for playground. If the 2 playground, assessor can take. Assessor can take 1 or 2 location, it's okay. For same playground and court, 1 location. For swimming pool, 10 meter length section per sample and minimum 1 sample. Like this court, floor 1 inside court, floor 2 outside court, signage, basic main fitting, features, swimming pool, we cover overflow drain, pool deck, ladder and railing, basic main fitting, features. This example picture for external work, playground, court and swimming pool. You see playground, we take here. For the floor, playground equipment, features, is there any bench, fixed bench, they apply here. Side drain, in this picture, there is no side drain, so we just NA, cross for NA, not applicable. And it's lighting. So this has a 4 item. And the court, inside court here, one sample, outside court, one sample, and the lighting, lighting here, you can see. So this, so the next is swimming pool, railing, pool deck, and basic main fitting and features. I think that there is no features here. Usually on the swimming pool area, I mean inside this pool, we not check . So this photo from the sensor Klassic created by CIDB. You can see the first picture, they're doing the external work, checking by visual. And this one for take them, measure the alignment for the window frame, roof checking, casement window checking, alignment for floor checking. And this one, pictures, checking for the gap on the door. And this one, a roof for high rise. Okay, this best practice and tips, this still just get sharing from other industry player. This is just a basic best practice. The first one is encourage workers to attend QLASSIC awareness training. So the first one is a basic. For the industry player who wants to know more about the QLASSIC, how our assessor to do the QLASSIC, how they checking, how they make it using the tools, they cross the number of check and comply at the form. You can attend the QLASSIC awareness training. Also, you can invite your subcon or anyone, subcon, COW. They must attend to take awareness training to know how far QLASSIC can be. The second one is on the site, you must supervise and monitoring workers at site. Usually, subcon, you must monitoring subcon the workmanship, such as pantry work, rectification work. The pantry work, you can see when they're doing the pantry work, they must cover the floor, any area they must cover, such as floor, you must covering they must cover the floor. Kena tutup rapat-rapat semua bagi betul-betul tak nak boleh ada gap yang nampak tiling tu lah, untuk to prevent from the paint drop, anything stain when painting work doing. So any rectification work, as you can see, some workers, if a defect at the wall surface, they just repair on that defect only. They're not painting back whole one panel wall. So So the QC need supervise your subcon how they're doing their job. Okay, so the other best practice, third, build a mock-up house sample unit as a project benchmark. Mock-up house ni, actually I just go to a few mock-up house sample. We can see there's some effort from the main con. Usually this is from developer. Developer wants wish they told the main con to build up a mock-up house as a project benchmark to make sure they make a model to they show the subcon to do perfect like this mock-up house. And the next is monitor workers during final cleaning work. This one is important, very important when QLASSIC assessor assessor attend on your site. Usually, like a high rise, I take example for high rise. Usually high rise has a minimum sample for 600. They may take 3 days. For the first day, if there any no what we call if there any stain spider web or dusty on the unit, usually the QLASSIC assessor will mereka akan bagi tahu lah macam mana how to tackle for the next day. And for next day, the second day, if the worker not do, if the QC not monitor workers doing the cleaning work, there may be a same result like first day. If the worker not detailing touch up, detailing cleaning, there may be a same result for the first day. Also on the 5, the other main con or industry player can do an internal pre-assessment. The QC can do internal pre-assessment for the project. Also, they also can hire the third party to do the assess on the project. Usually on internal, maybe they have given a high score, and then if you not satisfied with score, you can hire the other third party to see your workmanship and your better score. Okay, the last one, everything for best practice, you can refer CS7 2031 anything score, anything you want to score, you can refer CS7 as your reference to get a better workmanship and do right for the first time. Okay, that's all from my part. Okay, I give to MC for an intern. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Cik Muhammad Helmi. So that's the end of our presentations. So let's move on to the Q&A session. I would like all of our speakers, Technologist Muhammad Faiz, Cik Muhammad Azam, and also Cik Muhammad Helmi to join us for the Q&A session. So let me read the first question. This was during Technologist Muhammad Faiz presentations. A question from Technologist Muhammad Khairul. Is there any recommended score threshold established under QLASSIC manual to provide guideline to client or owner at what level the quality of the project? For example, less than 40 score is poor, 41 to 69 average, and so on. So anyone wants to answer this question? I think there is a threshold, right? Faiz, Cik Azam?
Assalamualaikum. Okay, okay, for your information lah, for the current threshold, the government has, based on our current assessment, is around 60 lah. 60 is the acceptable score for Klassic project lah. 60. And then the thing is, for the determination of the score for projects, we would like to advise it's whether it's up to the client lah to decide how the score that you would like to set in your contract lah. But the thing is, next year we will carry out we will produce a guideline for clients or developer to for them to determine your score. We will carry out a guideline lah. So inshallah next year there's a guideline for the industry players, basically the client lah, to determine the acceptable score. That one is the first, but based on our current data, our threshold is roughly the national score is around 60 lah. But the thing is, the current score that I've shown you just now is basically for project that's apply. So we don't have the data that represent or reflect the current score, meaning there are projects that are not still assessed carried out Klassic. So we can say 60 is the threshold, meaning since the current score data is basically on voluntary, so the score might be high lah, because it's they apply it for the assessment kan. But the thing is, the score, like I mentioned just now lah, based on the data, 60 is roughly national average, the Klassic score, and then it's up to but we will produce a guideline lah, inshallah next year.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. And there's another question from Technologies Khairul. Is the QLASSIC inspection will be carried out at all units, for example, high-rise residential units, or random units selected for inspection? If random, what is the basis? How many % of the units selected for sample selection, etc.? I think maybe Cik Azam has already answered this question. Sorry, is there anything that you want to add on? Cik Azam, anyone?
I will answer the second question. Is Klassic inspection carried out all unit? No, like I mentioned previously, the Klassic assessment will not be covered in all unit of the certain project, because of in the CIS7 standard is already mentioned that CIS7 is practicing the sampling method based on the total GFE and the category of buildings. It has minimum sample and maximum sample to be assessed during the project. So I think I already answered this question during my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cik Azam. So let's go to the next question from Martin. Is there a need to adopt QLASSIC into oil and gas projects or oil and gas?
Okay, I will answer the second question as well. No, because of oil and gas project is basically it's not the fault under building project. It falls under infrastructure project. By that, the project can apply for another rating tool, or we call sustainable infrastructure, because it's the only rating tool in CIDB or in Malaysia that has the requirement to do the assessment, and the certification is for infrastructure project. So QLASSIC is not suitable to use for oil and gas project. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And if you guys want to know more about sustainable infrastructure, you can go to CRIM website. There's more information there. All right. So next question is from Cik Zakaria. Is assessor, QLASSIC assessor, a permanent position or ad hoc or by projects? is QLASSIC assessor a permanent position? I mean, or ad hoc, meaning maybe you call, this is what I understand from the question lah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe a QLASSIC assessor is just when there's a project to do assessments, or it's a permanent position. I mean,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. Based on the question, okay, that I understand. QLASSIC basically is a certification lah. Certification whereby compared to other program like under CIDB programs, we do have a long life certification, such for example, falls under construction personal program. For example, like painter, if you obtain if you have been accessed and obtain the certification, for example, building decorative painter, that certification is a long life lah, meaning you don't need to attend again lah. But for QLASSIC assessor is basically only CIDB QLASSIC assessor as a certification for CIDB to appoint assessor to carry out assessment for CIDB. But if, for example, I was informed by the industry lah, the certification is being misused lah, whereby they are being used for building inspection. But the thing is, for CIDB or CQA, CIDB QLASSIC assessor, basically CIDB appointed this personnel which have which is competent and already passed our requirement to carry out the QLASSIC on behalf of CIDB lah. But the thing is, you can use the certification in the industry, meaning you can carry out QLASSIC for your internal project lah, meaning if you are a QA QC, better have to have for the QLASSIC certification lah. But the thing is that I mentioned just now is it's not for our certification QLASSIC. There's a new amendment. The certification is no longer long life. The certification will be for 3 years. 3 years. After 3 years, you have to renew your certification lah, submit and go for renewal. That's okay. I think I answered the question.
Okay, and then for the renewal, right? They just need to submit their application to renew, or they have to attend another courses or whatnot. You mentioned just now like the certification renewal for QLASSIC assessor who wants to renew their certification. They just need to submit an application, or they have to go through back the courses.
No, they just submit their. We'll have a form for renewal form. They just submit required requirement, maybe CV, and then I think CV lah. We not have how to say, belum lagi finalize the requirements lah. It's either we make the CQA validation long life or by year. But the thing is, the management is going for renewal lah. So for assessor, for the current assessor, we'll produce a new certificate which have a time period lah, and then during the next renewal, they have to fulfill the form lah. But our team will coordinate lah amongst the current QLASSIC assessor.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. All right. So next question is from Wong Sing Yin. Can house owner apply for his own property when through the QLASSIC after receive the key from the developer? Who wants to answer the question? Can they still go through QLASSIC after they receive the key?
Okay, for your information, QLASSIC assessment is mainly for projects. So it's not for individual units. So if your project have come out with a score, for example 80, but the thing is sometimes as mentioned by our presenter just now, our sampling is not for the whole unit because we have sampling method. So our assessment does not carry out for the whole, meaning the whole unit. We just selected unit. So sometimes it doesn't represent the score for overall lah. But the thing is, QLASSIC can be carried out for projects and not for individual units. Okay.
Okay, all right, that's clear. All right, next question from Zakaria. If the sample place is not okay, do you have to take photograph as proof? Maybe just now Encik Helmi show a lot of photos. Is that a requirement to take photos if the sample is not okay?
Yeah, I will answer this question. Okay, based on our practice at site, yes, the assessor sometimes take some of the photo as a proof, but to who we want to prove? Okay, we just take the photo as a sample to share. It's one of the findings technique to share during the closing meeting with the client, because of example, like maybe the defect at the sample location is too obvious. Maybe the defect on the damages, the crack is too large, too much. Maybe we find out that this thing is very serious matter, and we want to the client, we want to make this thing serious, and by explain to the client that they need to do some rectification work at the certain unit. Maybe during the assessment, the client or just now know that what is the defect during that certain unit. Maybe before the assessment, the owner itself, the developer, doesn't know that there has some serious major defect during the certain unit. When the assessment is done, they will know what is the result of the and findings during the assessment. So to answer that, yes, sometimes the assessor take photo during the assessment.
Okay, thank you. All right. Question from Mama Izwan. Is there any tips to increase scoring point for residential projects? Anyone want to share if there's any tips? I think in she helped me slide. There's some tips there, but maybe if any of the speaker would like to add on something.
Okay, based on the tips, based on presentation from Mr. Helmi, is a very strong tips, obviously. And the first thing is the team itself. They need to stand up their awareness and their skill on all their knowledge in QLASSIC or CI7. So if the project team already master the what is the requirement and what is the classification to do during the assessment from the CI7, so they already know the knowledge, so they can implement to the project. So that's number one, to develop their own internal skill for their contractor or subcontractor. And also the other tip is do the mock-up unit. For example, for the project, before they start the project, maybe can develop the mock-up unit, at least one mock-up unit. So the contractor need to focus to do the mock-up unit is very in high quality matters. So for the overall project, the mock-up unit itself can be as a benchmark for the contractor to follow, as a guidance to follow what is the quality level that need to be achieved. The floor need to be like this. The jointing need to be aligned. The paintwork must be equal without any defect whatsoever. So I think that's some strong point. What is the tips? how to score in QLASSIC.
Yeah, thank you. And we will also share the slides to all participants after the webinar. So maybe you can, read back their slides to digest on the tips from Cik Helmi. Okay, so next question is from Hanis Fazila. If we carry out internal pre-assessment, is it the score valid if we not include the external works? Any advice? Is the QLASSIC score valid if they didn't do any external works? Anyone else? Anyone wants to answer the questions? Cik Faiz?
Okay. If you would not include, okay, the thing is, during our QLASSIC assessment by CIDB, we will carry out all internal architect work, external architect works, and external. If you would like to compare apple to apple, if during the pre-assessment you did not carry out the external works, so I believe it's not term of the score is valid, but the thing is you cannot make comparison lah, because the thing is during the real assessment, the assessment carry out all the scope lah, but the thing is during the pre-assessment you do not carry out the for the external work, so you cannot compare lah, apple to apple, since the assessment for the pre-assessment does not carry out for the external work. So my advice is basically you carry out do the pre-assessment once the project have already completed. Architect say it's already complete, you can carry out your QLASSIC assessment, then you carry out before the actual QLASSIC assessment by CIDB. So better from there you can make some comparison lah, apple to apple, rather than you carry out pre-assessment, but the thing is you left out the external works, because if I'm not mistaken, the external works have quite a lot of weightage lah. So better to carry out the assessment, the pre-assessment before meaning make sure the project is completed, and then before the QLASSIC assessment is being carried out by CIDB.
Okay, so next question from Zakaria. Does the point achieved from QLASSIC have an effect on the application for OC? Can you clarify what OC is? What do you mean by OC? So maybe Cik Zakaria can clarify the term OC there, because we don't understand what that is. Let's move on to the next question first. Renovation work for property like terrace house, can QLASSIC be applied for renovation works?
Okay, I will answer this question. Renovation work is a rectification work. So it's already stated in the CI7 in 1.7 assessment approach. Any rectification work will not be rescored in QLASSIC. So what's mean by that? So only the QLASSIC is a one-time assessment right now. So during when the project is already finished, and before it's handing over to the client, so that's where the QLASSIC team will be assessed. So the work after that will not be counted as a QLASSIC program. It may be counted as a home defect inspection, something like that. So will not be counted as a QLASSIC. So the answer is cannot.
Okay, thank you. Cik Zakaria already clarified here. OC is occupation certificate. So let me repeat the question.
Okay. For this one, okay, QLASSIC is basically voluntary. Currently, it does not affect CPC or CCC lah. So it's basically voluntary. Voluntary meaning that if you do not carry out the assessment, QLASSIC assessment, doesn't affect any your OC or PBT process lah during the OSC OSC lah at a local authority. So the points does not affect limited lah. But the thing is, since I just mentioned the way forward, we like to make for private and government project to make it compulsory lah to carry out QLASSIC. The thing is, maybe in the future we just make it QLASSIC is compulsory first, but there's no point indicator lah or point specific target score that you need to attain lah. So at least you carry out QLASSIC first, so that in the near future, once we get, like I mentioned just now, the data for the whole Malaysia, meaning projects, all projects that have already carried out QLASSIC, then from there we can determine which is the threshold or the national QLASSIC score for the Malaysia lah.
All right, thank you. I hope that's clear. All right, next question from Nadia. Why can I ask why QLASSIC is not being used dengan banyak? Because I see from the data that in Kelantan only one project that registered for QLASSIC. And how can you improve from that? Yeah. Maybe you can explain why the adoption rate for QLASSIC, especially for the government project, is very low, especially states in Kelantan.
Okay. Like I mentioned just now lah, QLASSIC is basically voluntary. It's not compulsory. So it's there's no circular or instruction to the government SO or government agency to make QLASSIC diwajibkan, compulsory lah, meaning there's no instruction. So since there are no instruction towards the government agency, so it's not being carried out lah by Klassic for government projects. But for the private, it's basically voluntary lah. It's not compulsory. That's why I mentioned just now, CIDB making an effort lah to make sure QLASSIC will be made compulsory for government projects and private building projects lah. Okay, and then for Kelantan is basically based on the awareness lah. Awareness, that's one thing. There's no compulsory or policy that enforce QLASSIC. Then second is basically awareness lah. There are some saying that quality is nice to have. So when you're saying QLASSIC is quality is nice to have, so what is your purpose of carrying out QLASSIC kan? Because they are saying QLASSIC is nice to have. But the thing is, if for example you are paying for 500,000 house, and then you must expect some sort of quality lah kan? At least no hollowness, no cracks, the pin is as long as sama yang what you pay lah kan, at least 500,000 house. So that I just mentioned lah. So in Kelantan, basically Kelantan, just I mentioned lah, awareness tu kurang, and then depends on the developer lah. If the developer there's no urge from the public to the developer to go for QLASSIC, so it's difficult lah for the adoption lah. And then how you can improve on that? Okay, that I just mentioned just now, we are currently going for policies that to make QLASSIC compulsory lah. We are going to KKR for government projects, and then KPKT lah, insyaAllah. In the future, insyaAllah in the near future we'll make QLASSIC compulsory lah.
Okay, thank you so much. I guess that's all the questions from the participants. Maybe before we wrap up, maybe each of you can share your experience, or maybe share what are the benefits of QLASSIC, why do projects need to do it, why we encourage projects, especially government projects, to do QLASSIC, what we can gain from QLASSIC. Maybe you guys can share a little bit before we end the webinar. Maybe we can start from Technologies Faiz.
Okay, my opinion lah, QLASSIC is good for the industry and for Malaysia lah. So we need to start from somewhere lah. If the current practice now, QLASSIC is not being adopted, quality is nice to have. Until when if we were to compare to Singapore, they are starting to use, already started using prefab modular construction, whereby the quality is much more higher lah compared to our current nowadays we are using conventional and IPS. But the thing is, if we were not when we start the quality adoption, so better to start. We at CIDB, we are already starting the quality adoption, quality enhancement or increase to ensure the industry increase the quality for the construction industry. So it's good. It's the way forward lah for CIDB and for the industry lah. So we hope more projects are going for QLASSIC assessment and hope our effort to make QLASSIC compulsory will be approved by the parliament and the minister lah, insyaAllah.
Okay, good. Cik Azam, if you'd like to share something.
Okay, for me, I think QLASSIC is a very important program from the CIDB for the industry player in Malaysia because as your for information, QLASSIC is the only rating tool that available in Malaysia to assess the workmanship, the quality for the construction project. There's no others rating tool. Maybe there are some rating tool, but not exist in here. They only can applicable our neighbors country like Singapore. They have Conquest. So in Malaysia, we have QLASSIC. That's something that we can be proud of. And also, QLASSIC also can gain the what we call the awareness and the trust from the client or the home buyer. So they say they want the particular person want to purchase the unit or the house. So when they go for any developer, so this developer mentioned that this project certified with QLASSIC, awarded with QLASSIC with this certain amount. So it's automatically it's build a trust for the client to purchase a very quality quality workmanship for the particular house that they want to purchase. So I think that's all for me.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good, Cik Azam. Thank you so much. Next, Cik Helmi, if you'd like to share something.
Okay, my sharing also same lah with the speaker, Cik Azam and Muhammad Faiz. The QLASSIC always give awareness to the buyers when they buy to the house. Also in the QLASSIC, we can see others method of construction from this different industry player. You can see either they use IBS or another conventional item. Where every year we can see any different method of construction. Maybe they use from other country. They take the method for other country to implement in Malaysia. So in QLASSIC, how we implement, where we can improve and revise our asset to get more suitable with the current method of construction right now. Okay, and also I'm hope with Muhammad Faiz, QLASSIC will become Syria for next year and accept in our parliament. Okay, that's all.
So much to all speakers for today's discussion. Okay, that's I hope that all participants can benefit from our session today. All right, so thank you again to Technologist Muhammad Faiz, Cik Muhammad Azam and also Cik Muhammad Helmi for your time and for sharing your knowledge and expertise with all over today. All right, so on the 31st, we're gonna have a similar session, but on safety and health on SASHIC. So if you guys haven't registered for that session, you can register now. The registration is still open. So we will have expertise and also assessor from SASHIC assessor as well to share their tips and guidance on how to score for SASHIC. So thank you so much to all our speakers and also to all participants for today. We will share your certificates later on. So please make sure that you have confirmed your registration, your attendance, sorry. If you haven't, I already pinned the link in the chat box. So please, confirm your attendance for us to send you a certificate. Right. Okay, sorry. Okay, and so before we leave, can we have a quick photo session with everyone? Let me allow everyone to turn on their cameras first. Okay, can you guys try and turn on your camera? Okay, good. We have about 90 people joining in today, so thank you so much everyone for your commitment. Okay, let's wait for everyone first. Okay. Okay, just keep smiling. Okay, I'm gonna take a few shots. Okay. Encik Akmal wants us to wait for him. Okay, are you ready, Encik Akmal? Okay, all right. All right. Okay, one, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's start another one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right, good. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. This session is actually recorded, so if you guys miss any discussion, or if you want to watch back our discussion today, you can go to our YouTube channel. All right, and then don't forget to follow our social media or visit our website to stay updated with our upcoming webinars. Like I said, these webinars is a monthly program, so you guys can follow our social media to get updated on our next event. I'm gonna share the QR code one more time. If you guys haven't confirm your attendance, please do so before we leave. So that's all from me. That's all. So thank you so much to our speakers. Thank you to participants. We hope to see you on the 31st of October for the QLASSIC program. All right. So thank you. Assalamualaikum. Bye bye.